Hello, Otaku for Joshi and the Anime Curious. My name is RandomSama613, and welcome to Anime Opinions. The new anime season just started up, and I'm going to give you my first impressions. First off, I just want to say I hope my audio quality sounds better. I just got a new microphone, so I may sound a little bit strange still. I'm kind of working out my levels. So bear with me, but I hope that the audio quality is a lot better, and thank you for bearing with the awful audio quality I've had for the past few months. I finally had the money to get a better microphone that wasn't just the built-in webcam's microphone. So enough with that, let's just move on. So the first anime that I watched of the new season was Nobunaga The Fool, which is done by Satelight. Satelight's done Log Horizon, and they did some other stuff that I, of course, can't remember right now. Nobunaga The Fool, from what I've seen, has been getting a little bit of hate just because it's not as good as some of the other stuff this season, but I still really enjoyed it. I think the animation actually looks pretty good for a Satelight production. I'm not really impressed with Log Horizon's animation, as I did mention, but I think that the animation for Nobunaga The Fool looks very good, including actually the CG. The CG doesn't look half bad. It's still kind of jarring and breaks things up, but it could be worse, and I think it still looks pretty good. The kind of aesthetic that they went for in Nobunaga The Fool reminds me of like Broken Blade or Escaflowne. I suppose more like Escaflowne, because of the way that they do the kind of... They're not exactly mobile suits, but it's still kind of mecha, and I really kind of like that aesthetic. Because Broken Blade's probably one of my favorite newer anime series that's mecha, but not a traditional mecha. I really enjoy the way that they're doing the historical figures, the way that they kind of mesh the Eastern and Western ones together. How they're doing, basically it centers around Oda Nobunaga, but they also threw in Joan of Arc, they threw in Leonardo da Vinci, they threw in Magellan, and I think that that's kind of a fun idea. I really enjoyed the first episode just in general. I thought that it was decent. I've obviously seen better series, but I don't think that it deserves all the flack it's getting. I think it has a lot of potential and it could be a lot of fun. I really do like the way that the setting is, as kind of like the science fiction mecha overtone stuff. I'm kind of a sucker for that anyway, and I just think it's kind of a really interesting idea, and it could be really good, and I'm kind of hoping that it is. Another thing in its court is that the music's really good, actually. I like the opening. I think it's the opening because it comes at the end of the first episode, and I haven't watched the second episode as of this recording, so I'm presuming that it's the opening. They just put it at the end for the usual reason that they needed more time. So, I think that Nobunaga The Fool has a lot of potential. I think it could be really good. And I did enjoy the first episode, so we'll see where it goes. Next up, I'm going to talk about Sakura Trick, which is done by Studio Dean. This is a series I actually didn't think was going to get a simulcast. I had a feeling I was going to have to download this, because it doesn't seem like it's really something that was going to end up in the mainstream, which I was totally fine with, and the fact that they got a simulcast really surprised me. First off, the animation's really good. It kind of reminds me, it has an Azumanga Daioh, Lucky Star kind of 4-coma feel, because it is a 4-panel manga, and that's what it's been adapted from. I really like the opening and the ending, and the homages therein to Haruhi, actually. There's been a lot of Haruhi homages, and this was another one. In the opening, they did the Para Para dance from the ending of Haruhi, and in the ending, they have the bunny costume that Asahina wears in Haruhi. So I think that's really interesting. There's a lot of homages there, and that's really good. I will say that this is definitely a fan service heavy show, which is fine. I was expecting that, and well, it's Yuri, and that's one of my weaknesses. So it's definitely a really good show. I'm enjoying it, but the fan service actually doesn't detract from it. It actually adds from it, which is strange for me to say, because I'm notoriously hating on fan service. I think that it kind of moves along the show, and I really like the way that they structured it, and the way that while the fan service is there, it's not necessarily the focus. The focus is more the interaction between the two main characters, which I really like. It's really cutesy and kind of adorable, but it's also really sweet. It's not like that disgusting, cutesy whatever that certain other series have done that just drives me nuts. This actually has some substance to it in addition to being very cute and very sweet. And like I said, I love the interaction between the two main characters and all of the peripheral characters as well. I really, really like that. So, it has a lot of potential. They went with the 2 distinct stories per episode. They have an A half and then a B half. And I haven't seen an anime that's done that for a while. It's basically done two 12-minute episodes in one episode. The last one I can think of, I know that Lucky Star did it, but that's almost 10 years. Oh dear God, it's almost 10 years old. But I don't know anything more recently that's done the two 12-minute episodes kind of crammed into one. So I really liked that. But I really liked Sakura Trick. It was actually exactly what I was expecting. But it has more substance, which is really nice. And it has the potential to be one of the better Yuri anime I've seen for a while. Because the last really good one I saw was Sweet Blue Flowers. So I'm really hoping it keeps this up. And I'm really hoping that it stays good. Because it has a lot of potential. And I just enjoyed the first episode anyway. Lastly, I'm going to talk about Magical Warfare, or Maho Senso. This is a series that I read the description. It sounded interesting. It didn't sound like it was going to be, it sounded like it was going to be relatively generic shonen. And I figured I'd enjoy it anyway just because the concept sounded interesting. And I really enjoyed the first episode. The OP is good. The soundtrack itself is also very good. I don't like the ending. That's because I'm not a huge fan of rap rock, so that's probably why I didn't enjoy it. But it was still a decent ending. I think my primary complaint about the series is that the animation is kind of fuzzy. It feels like it's out of focus, and as I watched it more, I started to kind of get over that. It isn't as fuzzy and out of focus as Unbreakable Machine Doll is. It's definitely a different kind, and I think it works once you kind of get used to it, because I did kind of watch everything one after the other, so I may not have been used to the art style yet. There were some other little animation things that bugged me, like the way that the bodies have basically straight lines down the side, which is not how a body looks, but that's an animation style thing, and I can live with that. I don't like the overly pointy chins. That's one of the things that there's a section of time where that was really prevalent in anime, and that really bugs me, and I don't really like that particular art style, but again, that's a personal preference. It doesn't detract from the series. I like the concept behind the magic, how unless you're exposed to magic, you can't actually become a magician. And there's two different worlds. Basically, there's the living world and the world where magic occurs more. And I really like that concept. I like the characters. I like the way that they interact so far. I don't know exactly how that's going to change, if at all. I kind of like how it's going. I think that the transformation magic scene was highly amusing. If you haven't seen it, basically one of the main character's girlfriend, when she ends up with her power, she has transformation magic, and her boobs end up getting bigger when she uses them. So that's straight fan service. I found it really funny, but it's not for everybody. It's a little much, but I still found it really funny. And I also enjoyed the first episode, and I'm looking forward to more, and I'm wondering where they're going to go with it. And it has, again, another one with a lot of potential. I think everything I've seen this season has a lot of potential. So those are the first three first impressions I have for you. I will be doing one on Chunibyo, but that's also going to be wrapped in with my review of Chunibyo Season 1, because they're very closely linked. And most of what I have to say is going to be the same. So that'll probably be out next week. But what do you guys think about the new season? I'm actually kind of excited for some of this stuff. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. I do like to hear from you guys. I do read everything. I don't always reply, but I do read everything. If you liked the video, go ahead and like it. If you didn't, go ahead and dislike it. That tells me something either way. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of thing. This is primarily what I do, is first impressions and reviews. I do some other stuff, and I'll start adding that in slowly. And go ahead and follow me on all my social media, again, down there. Twitter's probably the best one to follow me on, because I tweet out some fun stuff while I'm watching anime, just my generalized thoughts, and of course I tweet out when I post a video, which is every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'm excited for the new season, and I hope it keeps up with the quality that it's at so far. But until next week, I've been Random Summon 613. This has been Anime Opinions, and until then, watch more anime.